Hey y'all, it's Lauren,
And I'm Grace.
and today we're going to be talking about just how, different music, different artists has like influenced us throughout our lives, and kind of what music maybe kind of struck home with us or kind of maybe helped shape us into who we are today. And I think it'll kind of be cool, like we talked about in the last episode, there's an age difference between us. So we'll have, different artists that will impact us, but also I think we'll have an understanding of maybe some similar artists too.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that for me specifically, being in my 40s, like I've experienced so many different genres. Like I'm gonna be honest, like going back to the 90s, I dabbled in a lot of country and stuff, but today I don't really listen to it a lot anymore. And the only ones I listen to are very specific artists. So, my taste has evolved or changed, but there's just some gems that I continue to hold. So, I want to know, like, how has music impacted your life and your decision making, or, you're dealing with your emotions, your ups and downs, and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think music can be very, very therapeutic. I love using like music as a form of like expressing yourself. Because sometimes you'll listen to these songs, you'll be like, oh my goodness, that's how I'm feeling. Or you won't realize how you're feeling until you listen to a song and you're like, that is it. For me, it kind of depends on, the vibe or the mood. But one of my favorite artists that I feel like just his words just hit home and I can relate and just feel the pain through his lyrics is NF. I love him as an artist and as a person, and I think he has been through a lot and has a lot to say through his music. And a few years ago, he dropped an album called Hope, and I'm still stuck on that album. I just love it. I think the music just carries such depth and it has such weight to it where you can feel the pain and the just authenticity to it, where what he's singing and what he's saying is true and valid and he's personally experienced it. I also have like done a lot of research and kept up with some stuff on him, so I know a lot about him just as a person. But I like artists where you can feel what they're saying and what they're singing about, rather than they're just singing because it's catchy, it's cool, it'll get, a lot of listeners. And then on a lighter note, I do love me some Tate McRae. Love her to death. I think she's awesome. She's so young. She has such an amazing voice. I think she's been a real inspiration for especially young women. Just to know that they can reach their goals, they can, be who they want to be and to not care as much about the looks and the appearances of things. I think she does a great job of like portraying that it doesn't matter what you look like or sound like, that you're loved and you're beautiful just as you are.
Okay. So I'm just letting y'all know I don't know any information about the discography from either one of the artists that she just named. I think NF was the one that she had told me about, that I told her I would check them out because she had already expressed this to me a long time ago, about like just how he is, the depth that he has and things like that. So I will still check NF out. So I want to know if what your favorite what am I trying to say? Your specific favorite genre of music is. Like, what is your go-to?
I love like pop.
Okay.
I love, rap when it's NF.
You like? Oh, he's a rapper. Oh.
Yeah. I like rap. I like NF. Like obviously NF. Pop with Tate McRae. I do like country. I like me some Kelsey Ballerini. And a few other artists, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone when he went country. I love it. I know it's a little controversial, but I thought it was great. But I also I have this album on my phone, like speaking to just emotions and speaking through music. I have an album called Ultimate Sad Girls, and I love songs that just you can feel the pain and it tells the story. One of my favorites for that is Lauren Spencer's. Is that her name? Lauren Spencer Smith?
I don't know who that is.
It may just be Lauren Spencer. I'm blanking right now, but I like her.
Do your best.
And I just love that, like, sad music where you can just like kind of feel it and dwell in it and be sad for that minute, but also like move past it. It's Lauren Spencer Smith. Sorry.
Okay.
If she ever sees this, I am so sorry. But I also like sad music where you can just like express the emotions and feelings and just feel it and sit in it and then kind of move past it. But yeah, what would you say are your like top genres? Maybe back then and maybe now. Like what are your top genres for?
So I'll go from back then, and I'll, like you just asked, I'll go from back then and lead up to now because it has changed a lot.
Okay.
So in the very beginning, we can even start back with like elementary school, because again, there's an age difference here. So what was hot for me growing up in the '90s was, when it comes to country music, it was George Strait, Reba McEntire, Brooks and Dunn, etc. And I used to play a lot of sports with a lot of children that did not look like me. And so we would have get-togethers and events where that's what I listened to all the time. And one of my favorite country songs is by Brooks and Dunn. It's called That Ain't No Way to Go. And when you come out of a bad relationship and you're pissed off, listen to that song, That Ain't No Way to Go by Brooks and Dunn. It will empower you. I promise you. I don't care what you're really normally into. Listen to that song. Because it's like textbook. Like, this is what this loser did to me. You've got me messed up, right? So I started with that. And, of course, hip hop was everywhere. It's still everywhere. It is one of the leading genres of music. It is what encourages everyone to do what they're doing on social media, advertisements, marketing. It is what it is.
Right.
But I'm stuck in the old school. I'm stuck in the '90s. I'm stuck in the 2000s when it comes to hip hop. If you look at my shirt, I don't know if y'all seen the biography movie of the Temptations, but this is the quote. It says, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis." The Temptations is one of the greatest bands ever from Black people, right? And my parents grew up on the Temptations. And back then there was a heavy amount of racism. Like, they still had issues in the public, but they were one of the most influential bands ever, the Temptations were. And so I am an old school person. I majorly listen to old school R&B, classic rock, which you can't really read it, and I'm not going to get all close to the camera for you to see it, but I have all of my bands that have inspired me on my arm, and I'm creating, what did I say, a word search? A word search with all of my favorite artists and bands. Some of them are neo-soul, some of them are just R&B, some of them are rap groups, and some of them are classic rock bands. I even have Def Leppard on here. That's a shampoo hair band from the 80s. So I'm fluid, and I was classically trained. I started playing the violin when I was in elementary school, and I actually elevated to the point where I was actually making money playing my violin for like weddings and stuff after I graduated high school.
Oh, wow.
So my ear for music, Pink Floyd's on here. Yeah, by the way, Pink Floyd is the greatest ever. I don't care what anybody says. But it's the same thing for me. Like, whatever tugs at my heart, I know now, like, what I need to listen to work through a specific emotion. And sometimes I feel like this person who's misunderstood is like a druggie, and I have to listen to Pink Floyd. Like, I get it. You know, I grew up, and I was a grunge girl partially. I say partially, there's a reason for that. But I grew up on Nirvana and Tool and Nine Inch Nails. But I also grew up on Genuine and R. Kelly and, Lil' Kim and, just different rappers and rap groups. I grew up with all of it.
Yeah.
But it depended on what I was going through is the reason why I listened to it. But I listen to everything. But I know that music is what kind of motivates me the most. And if I need help with something, I will probably more than likely play a song to help me get through it. Right? You know?
Yeah. That's why I think like music is just so therapeutic, because it says what we feel and think with and what we don't know how or what to say.
Yeah.
Because music says a lot for us when we don't know the words or what we're truly feeling or thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Who, if someone said right now that they're gonna pay all inclusive, whatever, they're gonna pay for your room and board. Is that what you say? Room and board?
Mm-hmm.
Your room and board, and they're gonna pay for all your meals and everything. And this is the only time you're ever gonna get a chance to see them in live, in concert. Who would it be and why?
I think it would have to be enough. And
Really?
I think it's because, yes, I've been listening to him religiously for so many years. And I think it would just be one of those experiences that being live and seeing him live would be unforgettable, and something that I would love to experience, and especially if it's being paid for. I just think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be really impactful. Like, he is an artist that I would love to meet in person. I think he'd be just as genuine off stage as he is on stage, and just his music is so powerful, and between the upbeat to the sadder songs, it's gotten me through a lot, and I can relate to a lot of it. And I don't know, I just think it'd be very, very meaningful to be able to see it live.
Okay.
What about you?
So I'm gonna name two bands, and the reason why is because one of the lead members, is no longer here,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish I had the opportunity to have seen him perform. And then one that is here, even though they've lost some members, there's a lot of them that are still out there working. But the first would be, and that's tattooed on my arm as well, Alice in Chains. Like I said, mentioned earlier, I was partially a grunge girl. I was a very confused teenager. We'll talk about that one day, okay? I kind of teeter-tottered. I didn't know myself, okay? So I work in mental health. Once I figured it out, that's when I was able to decide what I wanted to do for a living. But Alice in Chains, the lead singer, he was found no longer living for after several days for sure. I don't want to lie and say several months, but I know for a fact it was several days, and they could tell that he had been there for a while by himself, dying. And the lead singer's name is Lane Staley. For those of y'all who are Alice in Chains fans, I frequently go to Seattle, Washington, because that's pretty much home of the grunge bands. They all came from Seattle, the most of them. I mean, some of them came from California, whatever, but we're talking about the ones that came from Seattle. And so, it's kind of sad to go there and visit, because when I'm there in Seattle, like, I play all of the grunge band music majority of the time when I'm in my hotel room or whatever, because I want to feel the energy of, like, where they grew up and how they grew up and the places that they went, while they were teenagers in high school, just to hang out and, parks and things like that. Because his music, you could hear the depression in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear it in his voice. And I connected with that. Same thing with Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. Like, I connected with their voice and the feelings that they were going through, because I have depression, and obviously it's more managed than it was back then. Back then it was no managing, because I didn't even know I had depression.
Right.
But I connected with the music, and I understood what it was to be that sad. And what a lot of people, I want you to understand, is that some of these artists are talking about real life.
Yeah.
They're just making money from talking about it and putting it in a song to make a living. But most of them are talking about how they really feel on the inside.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just, why be so surprised when something bad happens, right? And then I would like to talk about my favorite band where there's still living members, which is on the classic R&B side, which is Earth, Wind, and Fire. Excuse me, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Love Earth, Wind, and Fire to death. I love seeing my people on a stage where everyone plays an instrument and they're just entertaining and they're jumping around and they're playing. It's just black excellence, and that's something that's very important to me, is for people to see like all that artistry on a stage and doing what they did and what they do. And so I have moments where I'll just sit here and play like my Motown station, which is on my Spotify. Well, I'm feeling a vibe. I'm like, I want to hear all my black music today from back in the day with the big afros and, things like that, and the bell bottoms. I want to hear that music. And then there's other days that I want to hear my stuff where I want to wear a pair of plaid pants with some Doc Martens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are my two. Sorry, it took me a long time to say that, but I had to explain it. You know how I am.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I think it just depends on the vibe, too, with whatever you're feeling that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So, moving forward, are you open to a musical genre that you've never really paid attention to?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lovely thing about music. You can discover, new things through different artists and through different genres. And just because you may not like, the genre as a whole, there's, certain songs and certain artists that you do like that participate in that genre. And so that's why my playlist is all over the place. I've got some country, I've got some pop, I've got some rap,
Mm-hmm.
got some sad girl music. I mean, it's kind of just all over the place because it really just depends on, the song and what it speaks to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm open to it.
Okay, so I want you to pick a genre that you haven't really listened to. If you can think about it for a second, that you would be open. I don't know what to suggest. I'm just asking you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be open to learning more about because you don't know much about it?
I think one I probably don't know a lot about, but I'd be open to would maybe be maybe rock.
What? Rock?
Because I feel like I don't listen to a lot of rock, but I'd be open to it.
Which rock? Like all rock or classic rock, or I don't even know the word. I'm in shock because I see how I just made an assumption. I just expected her to be already into rock. Really?
Yeah, because I feel like what's known as rock nowadays is not known as what classical rock was like.
Oh yeah, you don't need to listen to the new rock to get started. Definitely not. I can teach you on that. I'll start you off with a little Pink Floyd. Okay. All right. So cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask myself the same question?
Yeah.
I feel like I listen to almost every genre that USA has available. It's just normal. You got your rock, you got your pop, you got your Latin music, of course. You've got your reggaeton. Oh, that's fits in Latin. And you've got your rock. I don't know if there's any genre that I haven't really listened to, but if I had to choose something that I don't know much about or know anything about, I would just say maybe a genre of music that is sung in a different language.
Okay.
Maybe from the Asian culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I really want to know what they're talking about. There is this song and this video that was floating around on social media. And if some of y'all know what song I'm talking about, you can definitely put it in the comments. But it's a girl, a beautiful Asian girl who's clearly famous. And there's a song and a video that's been going across social media. And I don't know what she's talking about, but when somebody tried to translate it, they said she was really talking about something about birds. But it has a nice beat and it's catchy and it makes you want to dance to it, and you got all people in the comments translating it themselves just to make sure, make it seem like what they think it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that's not what she's saying. But anything catchy like that, I would like to know what are they actually saying? I want to know what they're talking about specifically.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing is for me to get attracted to a beat, a sound of a song, and then find out that the words are so negative and against what I believe in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
makes
that.
sense. Okay.
Maybe some international vibes, something like that going on. Yeah.
I get that. Okay.
But we've reached the end of our episode, so
Sorry, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about on this. I think we just, shared our opinions, and, music, we could go into much further depth on it. And this was honestly the first time we've talked or really asked each other about different musical preferences. So we may end up doing another episode on this later down the line, because it was funny when you were talking about Pink Floyd, and I know you know this about me, because she was talking about her tattoo. I have a Pink Floyd t-shirt that I got from like a thrift store, and I love it. I think it's so cool. And I've listened to a few, of the songs, but I didn't listen to Pink Floyd that much. So
and let me interrupt her really fast, because see, I own several Pink Floyd t-shirts, but the difference between her and myself is that I can literally sing word for word a lot of Pink Floyd songs, because my father was a fan of Pink Floyd. So I can literally sing songs off the album. And I've watched the what's it called? The Wall. I've watched The Wall. Actually, The Wall is tattooed on my arm. So, like we're gonna learn how to enjoy each other's music one day, and we'll come back and talk to you about it.
But yeah, if y'all have any other suggestions or any other bands or artists that you think that either Grace or I should listen to, drop them in the comments, and we'll definitely check them out. And we will see y'all next week with another episode of
Let's Cut the BS. Bye.